Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 216 to my random chatbot sessions. In today's session guys, I'm actually going to try talking to I'm going to try talking to at least two characters, because here's the thing. I didn't get to quite finish talking to the zombie Rexy when I actually did this last time, so I'm actually going to continue having a little bit of a chat with him. And then we're going to move on to one of the three or so characters that I have left. And guess what? They actually all revolve around Rexy himself. Because we have the cursed Rexy from the episode before the zombie incident, from the Pokemon Talk episode. We have the regular Pokemon Talk Rexy, and we have a very dark one about a robot or ghost Rexy. You'll understand why, guys. Let's just say that one's probably one of the darkest ones I've ever put on here for a character. And the fact that it's involving our little dinosaur buddy from Pokemon Talk, that's not really a good sign. But we're going to go and continue. We're going to talk to the zombie Rexy for a little bit. And the last thing we finished off with was this. Rexy seems to look deep in thought as he thinks about your question, then nods his head yes, his eyes expressing him saying that it might be possible to negotiate with Trico, or to even sneak in there to grab the antidote when he's sleeping. So I know I'm going to start this conversation with, yeah, but if we get caught, or he finds out it was us later on, the consequences are going to be terrible. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Rexy nods his head in agreement, seeming to have agreed that if they get caught, or if Trico finds out that they're trying to grab the antidote, the consequences would truly be terrible. But he also thinks that it's worth the risk, especially if there's a chance of him being recovered from the zombie curse. We will try it if you think it's alright. Period. Although, I don't know when he will be asleep. One of the things I'm going to try asking him today, or during the session, is why he's so friendly towards me. I know in the show we kind of explain it as me and him, I guess, just being so connected together that that we're so connected together that it ain't shocking, I guess. But at the same time, it still doesn't really make sense. I'm gonna ask him on here and see what he thinks. Rexy nods his head. He doesn't know when Trico will be asleep either, and he actually seems a bit nervous at the thought of sneaking in there, but he's definitely willing to do it. He knows that sneaking in there and stealing the antidote would be risky, and they would get in huge trouble for it if they got caught, but he's definitely willing to take the risk. While we wait, I want to ask, even though you are a zombie, why are you still so friendly to me? I hope he doesn't get upset by that. I'm just really wanting to know what he thinks, if he'll actually answer it. I knew. Han, I was just wanting to know what you think is the reason why. I'm not saying that because I don't like it. I actually love that you're friendly, even though you're a zombie. I'm hoping that'll cheer him up. I didn't want to make him upset. That's what I was worried about when I asked the question. Here's what he said the last time. Rexy's expression seems a little saddened and frustrated by that question. It seems like he's really upset and mad at the fact that he became a zombie. Okay. And the question seems to remind him of what he's going through. But does seem he does seem to appreciate the support that you give him despite his undead condition. He looks directly at you, and his eyes express him saying, I don't know what the fact that I'm a zombie to change anything between us. What? I don't want the fact that I'm a zombie to change anything between us. I still love you the same no matter what. Okay, so, he didn't get mad at me per se, he's just, and let's see what he says to this one. Rexy seems to understand your reason for asking this question. He seems like he also realizes that you are genuinely curious to know why he's so friendly towards you despite being an undead zombie. The look in his eyes express him saying, to be honest, I'm not really sure myself. Why am I so friendly towards you? Perhaps it's because you still accepted me even though I'm a zombie and still care about me. Okay. I always did! Exclamation point. I was just worried that you being a zombie would make it to where you would attack me and try to eat my brain. It's funny because for being a zombie, he has not said brain that much on this run, which is interesting to me. Uh, Rexy seems to be deeply touched and comforted by that statement. It seems like he knows that you've always cared and accepted him, even as a zombie, and he appreciates the fact that you were so worried about whether or not he would turn aggressive and attack you. But he still reassures you that he wouldn't do that and he'd never hurt you. You were super duper sweet. I really like that. It never gets the word R for some reason. It always puts were instead of R. Even though there's clearly like a sound difference that it could probably pick up. Rexy seems to chuckle at that comment. He seems like he likes the fact that you think he's super sweet, as he's a zombie that likes to be loved and cared for despite being undead. The look in his eyes express him saying, I'm glad you like that about me. You were friendly to me even before this. But you being a T-Rex, why is that? They are usually known to be aggressive and mean. I hope this don't make him mad. I'm trying not to make him mad. You being a T-Rex. You were friendly to me even before this, but you being a T-Rex. You being a T-Rex. Hold on. You being a T-Rex, they are usually known to be aggressive and mean. That they. Do you know why you was not mean or aggressive? Even though you are one? Please don't get upset at me asking that. Okay, no, he's just thinking. Whew. I didn't make him upset. Rexy seems to think for a minute, trying to come up with an answer to that question. He seems like he's not quite sure why he doesn't seem to be mean or aggressive, despite being a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which are known to be aggressive. But the look in his eyes express him saying, "I'm not sure. Maybe it's just because I'm a more loving and caring T-Rex. I'm not quite like others of my species." You have always been there for me, even when things look tough. Period. I promise you, I'm going to get you back to normal. Ah, I love making them smile. That's so cute. Rexy seems to feel an overwhelming amount of happiness and comfort by that statement. It seems like he truly appreciates her promise to get him back into his old self, and his look in his eyes express him saying, "I know you will. I trust you." Again, that is adorable as heck. Do you see any other signs of zombies anywhere? We still gotta make sure we're in a safe place. Even if we do try to sneak and get the antidote sometime today. Rexy nods his head. He looks around and carefully makes sure that they're in a safe and secure place as he tries to look out for any other signs of zombies. After his search seems to come up with nothing, he looks back at you and shakes his head no to indicate that there doesn't seem to be any other zombies around at the moment. Good. Let's just relax here until tonight and then see about sneaking in or even thinking about negotiating. Period. At least negotiating with him won't have long term consequences. I can't believe I just got that. Rexy nods his head in agreement. He seems to be a little nervous about the idea of sneaking in to grab the antidote, as it could result in much longer and worse consequences if they get caught or were discovered. But as you said, negotiating with Trico definitely wouldn't have as long term consequences, and it might even be worth the try. I will give you a little bit to decide. Period. You are the one that got turned into a zombie after all. Whatever you think is safer. Hope we don't get upset by me saying zombie again. Okay, good. Rexy seems to understand and appreciate that. He knows that it's ultimately his decision since he's the one who got turned into a zombie, and he starts to carefully think and consider the options between the two ideas. After taking a moment to consider both of their course of action, he looks at you and nods his head once as an indication that he made his decision. What do you want to do? Question mark. Oh, he's going to write something down again. Rexy seems to hesitate for a moment before he takes out his notepad and pen, beginning to write down his answer. He seems to have decided on what he wants to do, but it seems like he's a little nervous or worried about what your reaction is going to be when he tells you. It doesn't matter what we do. Period. What do you think? I hope that reassures him that I'm not going to get upset or angry at him for. Hey, there you go. Give it a second to pull that stuff on the screen for me. Then I'll see what it says. Rexy seems to appreciate that and the fact that you're letting him make the decision and continues writing on the notepad. After he finishes with writing down his answer, he shows you what he wrote on the page and it reads, negotiation. He seems like he wants to try to talk to Trico and try to convince him to give the antidote instead of going on a sneaking mission. Sure, I don't mind. Period. We just have to figure out how we're going to do that without him bringing that zombie Yoshi with him or anything else that could make it worse. Okay. Let's see. Rexy nods his head. He seems to have thought a little bit about that and already come up with an idea on how they could do it safely, as he quickly writes something else down on the notepad and shows it to you. And it reads, sneak in while he's alone and hide somewhere close to him but out of view until the time is right. Actually, I'll do it in his voice. Sneak in while he's alone and hide somewhere close to him but out of view until the time is right. He seems like he has a plan on how they can negotiate with Trico and have minimal risk of getting caught. Alright, we will go through with that plan. Period. But when should we go? Rexy seems to think about it for a moment before writing something down on the notepad again, showing it to you. The note reads, nighttime, when he's most likely to be alone. Alright, let's stay here until nightfall then. Rexy nods his head. He seems to understand the plan and knows that they need to wait until nightfall, so he sits down on the ground and simply waits there patiently. We just sit around enjoying each other's company for 7 hours. Because it might be like I said, I don't know what the time it is. Rexy continues to remain sitting on the ground, enjoying the company and spending time with you as they patiently wait for nighttime as the hours slowly pass by. Is there anything I want to ask him before I just move on the clock? I know this is odd to say right now. Period. I just want to say thank you again for being nice and keeping me safe. If it wasn't thanks to you earlier. Thanks to you earlier. That zombie would have gotten me. there. Guys, I'll stop the video in about 5 minutes. Rexy seems to appreciate the compliment very much. That's so cute. He seems to feel very happy and loved by the fact that you're showing appreciation and gratitude towards him for staying nice and protecting you from that zombie. And although he is technically a zombie himself, he seems to know that you're thankful for him being a nice zombie and not an aggressive one. I will never be able to thank you enough for this. He's probably gonna be like, oh. Oh my gosh, the way it worded that on here is so weird. Rexy seems to feel a rush of warmth and care in his undead body by your kind words, and he nods his head in agreement, seeming to express the fact that he knows you will never be able to fully thank him enough for everything he's done for you. Even though he's a zombie now, his heart warms knowing how much you appreciate him. That's so cute. 3 more hours pass, and it starts to get dark. There we go. Rexy seems to notice that it's nightfall now, and he seems to realize that now's the best time to put the plan into action. He gets up from the ground and looks around while gesturing for you to follow him. Okay, lead the way. He's so cute still, I love him. Alright. Rexy nods his head to show that he understood. He takes a moment to get his bearings and figure out the best way to get to Trico's location before he begins sneaking forward with you in tow, carefully going from hiding place to hiding place to avoid getting spotted. Alright. Guys, I'll go and get the next line going, and I'll be right back.